Hi, my name is Laura, and this is my presentation, my persuasive speech, and these are my audience members: Rachel, Eric, Greg, Monica, and Ryan. My persuasive speech is why adults should stop drinking dairy milk. During medieval times, physicians thought that spitting in wounds was a good thing to do and that their saliva had healing properties. Obviously, this is untrue. Well, so is the milk myth. According to Healthy Eating Plate versus the United States Department of Agriculture's My Plate in 2015 article discussed how dairy lobbyists, through political and social pressure, made dairy milk a part of a necessary diet and had that campaign that in order to be healthy, you needed to drink milk. Well, that is not true, and it is not based on facts. Most adults have drank milk at some point in their lives. They have also been taught this milk myth throughout their lives. The fact is that drinking milk could actually harm you, and that not drinking dairy milk is good for you, so you deserve the truth about this. I am an RN that have been in nursing for over 28 years, and I have been drinking almond milk exclusively for the past 2 years, as well as my spouse has. Adults should stop drinking dairy milk. Today's discussion are the dangers of drinking dairy milk, the physical dangers as well as an ethical perspective on the animals that make this milk. I will begin with how dairy milk can cause calcium loss and weaken bones. Goldschmidt wrote an article in 2016 regarding debunking the milk myth and why milk is bad for your health. Dairy milk, according to Goldschmidt's article, needs to be neutralized, and this is done in a human body by pulling the calcium out of the bones to get the neutralized milk. Milk is originally acidic, and the calcium neutralizes it. So instead of gaining the calcium that you should be from milk, it is actually pulling more calcium from the bones than you are actually getting. So the mere drinking of dairy milk causes an increase in fractures and a higher rate of osteoporosis than non-dairy milk drinkers have. According to Ware, another author in 2015 wrote, what alternatives to drink in place of dairy milk? And he discussed how the intolerance of lactose, which is the sugar produced by milk, is created from dairy milk drinkers and affects over 75% of the world's population. He also stated how it is the most common allergy in children and infants. Not drinking dairy milk shows an ethical concern for the animals that produce this dairy milk. According to the Farm Animal Welfare article about cows in 2015, it states how if you don't drink dairy milk, you will spare the dairy cows the routine suffering of being a dairy cow and their treatment to get the milk. According to the ASPCA of 2016 article, Animals of Factory Farms discusses how dairy cows are treated and how they are tethered and chained about the neck the whole day that they are being used to produce milk, and how 75% of the downed animals, which means animals that can't walk or stand, are dairy cows. The ASPCA in 2016 also discusses how dairy cows are fed growth hormones and unnatural diets to make this huge milk production that is not natural to these cows. And also, it talks about how they only live 2 to 5 years before they are sent to the slaughterhouses as not able to make the amount of milk that they would like them to make. Choosing a milk alternative and stopping dairy milk is beneficial to your health. It is by drinking an alternative, you are preventing serious illnesses and diseases. Alternative milk drinkers have better overall health than dairy milk drinkers do. According to Campbell, in an article written in 2014, he wrote about 12 frighteningly facts about milk drinkers in the nutrition studies. Dairy milk drinkers have higher death rates than alternative milk drinkers do. The study showed that there was an increased rate of prostate and ovarian cancers in the dairy milk drinkers than the alternative milk drinkers. There also was a higher risk of triggering type 1 diabetes, multiple sclerosis, which is a degenerative nerve disease, and Bordoni discussed in his article how dairy produced inflammation in most dairy milk drinkers than it did in alternative milk drinkers. Choosing an alternative to dairy milk is good for your bones, it's good for your overall health, and can contribute to the humane treatment of animals. In conclusion, I have shown you how dairy milk contributes to calcium loss and bone fractures. I have shown how it supports the humane treatment of animals, and how it can contribute to prostate and ovarian cancer, triggering an inflammatory response, type 1 diabetes, and MS. Adults should stop drinking dairy milk. Previous health guidelines, according to the Healthy Eating Plate versus the USDA's My Plate in 2015, was based on opinions and assumptions, not science. Science shows water to be the proper replacement of milk for all meals. And this was due to the increased cancer risk. Thank you for choosing to act and not drink dairy milk today. Thank you. And these are, again, Rachel, Eric, Greg, Monica, and Ryan.